This video found you. You're watching this video because something amazing is going to happen for you, to you, with you in 2025. And I'm going to share with you in this video, I'm going to share with you why I believe this. I'm going to share with you what my experience is, what I did to go from a totally disaster life situation, business situation, money situation, and actually into a very fulfilling and a life with abundance. So again, 2025, I do believe, I feel, I know, I trust that it's going to be amazing for you, for me too. And what happened to me, I'm going to share my story so you can know, so you know what I'm speaking about, what I came from, what I came to, and also the two most important things that I did to go from 1.5 million US dollar in debt and until totally free, no more money issues, and in less than 5 years in total. So if you want 2025 to be the year where you are creating, where you are experiencing abundance, where you're experiencing more money than ever, then I know there's a reason why you're watching this video right now. Okay? And also, I just kept my cactus in the background here. It's a reminder for me too. It's just growing and growing. You can watch the video, and that's the purpose of this cactus. It's just growing. It's getting taller and taller. I don't know how much, and I think it cannot even be here anymore. So, first of all, my story. Let me share my story so you know what I'm speaking about. I'm going to do this as quick as possible. For many years, we are back in from 2000 maybe, and then around 8-10 years after that, I was working so hard, so many hours. I tried whatever I heard, whatever I read, whatever I saw to become financially free. That was my biggest aim in life. And in 2000, I got a great job. I got a management position and in a startup company, and I was there for 12 years and was the co-creator and operation director of the company. And when we finished, I had 500 people in my team. We had 50 coffee shops in Denmark, and we had a revenue around a little less than 20 million US dollars. In Denmark, where I am, it's a quite big company. So I had a great position. I had salary coming in, and I had this personally, I spoke about this too, personally vision of creating an empire, of becoming financially free. So I hustled, I grinded, I wrote books, I did blogs, I did email campaigns and whatever, different kind of projects on top of my management position. And also I began buying properties, apartments in Copenhagen. I saw the area that I lived in, that I believed that it was growing, that was become a good investment. So I did that. I borrowed money to own apartments. And I created a portfolio with 20 apartments that I rented out. And when I was on top in 2007, I think, or believe, I was around, I was around 5 million US dollars in net worth. 5 million US dollars in net worth. And I was around 35 years or something. But the fact was that I was grinding it, I was working, I was hustling, I was trying everything, and I was stressed, and I was burned out, and I was sick all the time. But I didn't realize it because I was so busy creating my empire. I was depressed. And not only that, I also ran into a very beautiful woman, not from my country, very exotic woman, and we got married. I got carried away with fantasy. So I had two fantasies running and none of them served me. And then in 2008, I had a great job. Everything was going good for me, beside the fact that I hustled so much. And what happened was all over the world financial crisis. And the interest rates went up, very much up. And in my country, the bank also put the interest rate up. So suddenly I was in a big problem because I had to pay much more money than I had to interest rate. And that began to become a big problem because the bank was after me. They wanted the money, and nothing changed for me, but one thing was changing, that I didn't have the money to pay the rates. So they came after me. They threatened me, a lot of things. It was honestly was the worst at that time period of my life, because I got the banks after me, and on the outside, I was living in a huge apartment. I had a nice car, I had a great job, I had a beautiful wife, and wow, people were like, wow, wow, wow. But the fact is that my secret life, like I said, I was stressed, I was burned out and depressed. And that problem with the bank and 1.5 million US dollars in debt. That was my case at that point, and I couldn't pay the debt. I couldn't pay what the banks wanted. That's why they threatened me, because of the financial crisis. At that point, and I remember this, I went to work every morning and I felt like putting a mask on, trying to be positive, trying to manage and do my job. But on the inside, I was broken and desperate, and yeah, I felt like shit. And at the worst point here, I was actually, and I remember this too because I didn't sleep for a long period of time. So I was physically, I was just falling apart. Mentally, I was falling apart. And I hid it from everyone because I had this image, and I was afraid of people seeing that I was not this guy that they thought I was. So everything was falling apart for me. That's the quick story here, and it's the true story. And at the worst point, after not sleeping for maybe a couple of weeks, and I mean no sleeping, and I was so stressed, I was thinking to myself, I'm just gonna take my car and I'm gonna drive from Denmark. I can drive all the way down to south of Europe, and maybe from there I'll take a boat and go to Africa. I'm just gonna leave it all because I have no clue how I'm gonna solve this. I was so desperate, and I even remember at times when I had to put gasoline in the car, I couldn't even fill up the tank. I was like, what am I going to do here? So I was like, okay, I have like $20. That's not a lot for gas in my country. So I put that on. But then I was afraid that I didn't have money enough to buy food. And that stressed me too. I mean, stressed me. So I got some very bad thoughts running on. And also bad thoughts. If I didn't run away, maybe I should rob a bank or doing something like that, because I was so desperate. I don't know if you ever tried this or anything like this, but I was falling apart. Now, I'm going to share the quick story and the two things that I promised you here. Because one night where I was like, I'm gonna drive now. I was lying in my bed, I was sweating, and I was like, okay, one part of me is, okay, take the keys, just run. Run from it all, forget it all. Go to somewhere where nobody knows you, Michael. That thought kept going on in my mind. And on the other side of that, it was like, well, I'm gonna disappoint a lot of people and it's not gonna work. Then suddenly, I was sweating all over. Something happened inside of me, and I sat up in my bed, and with my hands, I just like, both hands down, and then, no! I yelled out. And at that point, I decided to take the responsibility of my situation. Listen carefully here. To take the responsibility of my situation, and I decided to solve it. Something ignited inside of me. So instead of the desperate, stressed, burned out, giving up version of me, Michael, lying there in bed and trying to figure out how to come through every day, something ignited in me that night. From that, a lot of things happened. It took the preparation for what I'm speaking about now took a couple of years because I was in my job. But I began reading, I began studying about money. I gotta get out of this situation, but not from a desperate mindset, and that's the word, mindset, but from a mindset that I wanted to solve this. And I read some amazing books about money. And in another video, I can share some of those with you if you want to. Let me know in the comments if you want this. And I read one book that was called The Millionaire Mind. I think that was it. T. Harv Eker. And that book, I read it again and again and again and again. And also there was a ticket to a 3 days intensive seminar. And I was like, I wanted to go, but I had my manager job and I was like, that was the image. Nobody knew the whole situation and I didn't want to come and tell my boss or the CEO saying, hey, I want to go to a Millionaire Mind intensive 3-day event. I could not figure out how to say that. So I didn't. And I waited. In 2012, I stopped at the coffee shop company. The day I stopped, I went home, I found the book and I looked up and I figured out, okay, is there this 3-day event? And there was not. There was not this 3-day event. I couldn't find it. There was some months to it, or it was in the United States, which is a bit far for me, and I still had no money and all of this. So what I did was I contacted the company and asked if there was some seminar in Europe that I could attend very soon. I explained my situation in a few lines. And they said, okay, I think it was in June 2012. They said, there is something called Master Your Mind in London, a 3-day intensive going on, and that would help you too. And I was like, I didn't have the money. I was really, but I had this mindset that I wanted to solve my situation. So, and it was not like I didn't the years after I think it was maybe 1.5 years or something, maybe 2 years, where from this ignition, something ignited in me from that point. It was not that I solved my situation, but I was living with hope instead of with giving up. Living with hope instead of giving up. So I went to this seminar, and from that seminar, and that's the two things that I focused on for the next 4 years. Next 4 years. It took me 4 years. Listen up here. It took me 4 years to go from $1.5 million debt, broke, desperate, stressed, burned out, a marriage that should never have happened. But I got a daughter from that marriage, and she is with me now, and she's soon to be 15 years old. And so one very, very important thing came out of the marriage. From all of these things, in 4 years, less than 4 years actually, from my London seminar, what happened to me was I built a company, a cleaning company. I got 60 people in it, and I paid off my debt, $1.5 million debt. The marriage, I stopped that, and I got more energized, more focused, more vital, more positive, more abundant, more healthy than I've been probably all of my life. The two things, very quick in this video, just to warm you and me up to what's going on. Like I said, 2025, I do believe it's going to be an amazing year for you. If you keep listening, if you keep doing things that I've been through, that I'm teaching, that I'm telling, that I'm sharing from my story, from what I did after. If you keep doing this, so if you want to, just please like, but also subscribe and hit the bell to this channel, because then you will see when another video pops up, or it's more likely that you will see it. And I got so much to share, and I'm very, very excited about sharing my story this way, and also what I did, and just keep following my inspiration. So please do that. Now the two things, and I'd be very on an overall level. First of them was what happened to me on that 3-day seminar. It started with the book, but it happened on the seminar. The work happened on the seminar, and it started the process. And what I'm speaking about here, and I'm going to do it very quickly in this video, because then I'll share more about it later on, and I keep sharing. The first and most important thing, my mindset. I realized that my mindset, my beliefs installed in childhood, maybe even before, my mindset was not successful, not abundant, not positive, even though I thought I was, because I was smiling and had a great job. But I realized that. So I began working on my mindset, with my mindset, and changing my beliefs from a belief of not success to a belief and a mindset of success. From a belief of not abundant to walking into a mindset of abundance. From not good to earn money, not good to be rich, not good to be abundant, not good to be successful, all of these things, and into the different, totally opposite of being rich is beautiful, and being wealthy is beautiful, and being successful is beautiful. So I worked with these things, mindset on a deeper level too. So that was number one, the overall thing. And number two, but number one is the first thing. Number two was the strategies. So, and I'm going to do it very quickly here. Number two was the strategies, because when I began changing my mindset, I also began looking into the possibility of creating a company and earning money that way. And then from that came my cleaning company. It was actually kind of an accident, or maybe it was destiny. But what happened was, with the mindset and then with the right strategies, I grew a cleaning company from zero. I had no experience with cleaning companies. I grew a cleaning company from zero revenue, from zero anything. I started it, I did the first contract, I did the first cleaning and all of that, cleaning staircases. I actually broke my 2 arms from doing that. That's another story. But I did it by myself. And in less than 4 years, I grew it to 60 people in my team. I grew it to 10 million, not US dollars, but 10 million Danish kroners in less than 4 years. 10 million Danish kroner in revenue. And a lot of people thought that was not possible. Even the banks thought it was not possible. But I paid off my debt. I did this mindset, money mindset, success mindset, and then the right strategies. The right strategies to my vision. So that's why I'm saying 2025 is going to be an amazing year, and you're going to have more money than ever in your life if you walk that way, if you take the steps. And I'm already sharing now. There's a lot of things on my channel already from the first videos I did here, but I'm going to keep sharing from my experience, from what I believe. And yes, it's about manifesting things, but it's also about doing the things that's going to help you manifest the things. And I'm going to share it from my own story. It's not going to be something I read somewhere. It's going to be my story, what I experienced. 2025, my friend, is going to be amazing. Whatever the situation is right now, whatever the story is right now, however bad you're feeling right now, trust me, because I experienced, I've been there, I know how it feels. I know how it feels. 2025 is going to be amazing. So if you are open to this, I'm going to invite you to just maybe ask yourself, could it be possible that 2025 is going to be amazing? Just ask that question to you. Ask the question. Those questions that we ask ourselves is going to open up to a new portal. It's going to open up to new ideas, new great things coming. So 2025 is going to be amazing. I really felt like sharing this story with you. And I'm just going to wish you a great day, great night, whatever it is. A lot of great success energy from me and a lot of love too. See you in the next video.